you got to put yourself out there. You got to make yourself known in this industry. You got to let people know that you got to let people know what you do, and that you are trying to reach new heights. But if you just stay in the shadows and you play it safe and, oh, I'm a post here and there, people don't really know that I'm trying to be a model, it's not going to work. You got to put yourself out there. You got to meet new people. Like you said, networking is so important. You got to put yourself out there, meet new people, put your talents out there, let people know who you are.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Aquia Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives, just like you, on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope that you are listening to this episode in good spirits and in good health. If you are a friend in beauty, I welcome you to join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious, and supportive friends in beauty to virtually connect with, network, and share resources, click the link down below in the show notes or in the description so that you can join our community. I'll be waiting for you there. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty and use the hashtag FIB Friday Feature. What I like to do is spotlight different friends in beauty and their accomplishments and share them with the community. So no matter how big or small you think it is, I want to big you up and I want to shout you out. So use that hashtag to be featured. Also, this podcast is available on Apple. So if you have an iPhone, a Mac computer, an iPad, find the Friends in Beauty podcast, okay, and leave us a 5-star rating and review. I would love to know what you think about the show. Also, if you're listening on Stitcher, if you're watching this interview episode on YouTube, make sure you rate as well, comment, and subscribe. I want to know what you think about the podcast. And also share this podcast with all your friends in beauty, your friends and family, anybody that you think can benefit from the information shared on this podcast. Share. I'm trying to grow this community internationally, nationally, all over the world. So I need your help to do that. I'm only one person. I can't do it alone. So share. Now, in this episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast, we welcome to the guest chair, Halle Deneen. Halle Deneen is a nationally signed and published plus-size model, celebrity TV host, and public relations specialist from Baltimore, Maryland. Halle is a Howard University alumna where she earned a bachelor's in strategic legal management communication with honors. Halle has been published in many notable magazines such as British Vogue, Elle, Marie Claire, BTFL Mag, Plus Model Magazine, and Black Women's Style Report magazine. In addition, she has a vast variety of clients, including, but not limited to, Ashley Stewart, Lord & Taylor's LaLa Anthony, Macys, Fashion to Figure, and CitiTrends. Halle has completed a total of 12 national campaigns by the age of 21, gracing the storefronts and advertisements nationwide. As a TV host, Halle has interviewed live at the BET Experience for 2 years consecutively, interviewing celebrities such as 2 Chainz, Rotimi, and Mackwilds. In addition, Halle has interviewed on the red carpet at the 48th NAACP Image Awards with Terrance J as a Denny's and Tom Joyner Foundation Scholar. Halle got her own LLC at the age of 22 and founded To Be a Model classes where she teaches women of all shapes and sizes the ins and outs of the modeling industry. Halle founded her own luxury hairline, HD Lux, and she lives by the quote, "Live by faith, not by sight." I absolutely cannot wait for you to hear this interview with Halle. It was such a pleasure catching up with her, learning about her story, which is so amazing. Wait till you hear her story and the way that she has triumphed and pushed through. We talked about so much in this episode, from just confidence, how to get into the modeling agency, getting signed, some of her biggest accomplishments so far, and the things that she's proud of in her journey, overcoming bullying and pushing through, and just being such a light in this industry and being someone who is a trailblazer. Like, wait until you hear this episode. I had such a good time talking to Haley. I met Haley, what year was that? I don't even know what year. It's quite some time that we met. We've only had the pleasure of meeting one time in person. We did like a practice session some years ago. Me and Tayana Robinson, we did like a little makeup play date one time with her like years ago. We hung out afterwards. So I haven't seen her in person since then, but learning about her story is just, I can't even say much. Just go ahead and listen to this episode. So without further ado, let's get into this interview with Halle Deneen. Enjoy. Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, Haley.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you, and I'm so mad that I didn't do my makeup because you look absolutely
beautiful. My God. I was thinking that you was going to be, but I was like, you know what? This is a makeup art. I got to do my face. I got to get cute.
Not me. This is how I look probably like 98, 99% of the time. Sometimes I'll put a little, something, but I'm just letting my skin breathe today because I had on makeup all day yesterday and I just couldn't do it today.
Yeah. With the sun, I get it, girl.
Yes, it's too hot in this area. But definitely thank you so much again for doing this. Like I said, when I originally wrote out my list, I'm still hitting my people that I had on my original list for when I wanted to do the podcast. And I've just seen your growth over the years. And I was like, I have to have Haley on the podcast, definitely.
Oh, thank you.
The first model. Your first. So you're setting the tone for the future models on the podcast.
Yes, let's go, ladies.
So, before we jump into the interview, I like to start off with some icebreakers, just so the audience can get a chance to know you a little bit more outside of modeling. Okay. So, icebreaker questions. First one is, give us 3 random facts about you.
Oh, okay. 3 random facts. I have a Frenchie who is like my little baby. I literally consider him like my little son. I'm obsessed with him. I'm from Baltimore. A lot of people don't know that. They think I'm like from New York or no, I work a lot in New York, but I'm actually from Baltimore.
Okay.
And what is another fact about me? I have a huge obsession with shopping.
Okay.
I have to add that. That is something that is just, I'm working on it, but it is something that I have to work on.
What's some of your favorite sites or whatever to shop?
Well, lately I have been doing a lot of like shopping with Black-owned businesses, and I've never been more fulfilled in my life. Like, this is from Diara Blue. Super cute.
Beautiful.
I like shopping at Hanifa, the brand label, BBX brand. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Black-owned shopping, girl.
Nice.
I was like, game changer.
I love
game
it.
Changer.
What you have, is that a dress that you have on?
It's like a kimono dress.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a kimono dress.
I love it. All right. Next icebreaker question. What does everybody tell you that you're good at?
You know what? This is going to sound really crazy, but people tell me that I'm good at like making jokes, like that I should be like a comedian, which I can never be a comedian.
Right.
But I really do like making people laugh. I really like making people laugh. Also, I'm really good at like sewing and like making stuff. I used to make like my own shorts back in the day. I used to make my own shirts. I used to really be on the sewing machine, but I don't think that's something that like I could pursue. I'm just really just good at it.
That's awesome. That's funny. A lot of people don't know that I'm actually pretty funny. Like, I'm low-key funny.
Pretty funny.
My boyfriend, he steals my jokes all the time because I'm quiet. So if I say something, people might not hear it, but when he repeats it, it's like he don't even give me credit for it. I'm like, I'm the funny one. Okay.
Right.
That's so funny.
I'd be like, I'm really funny on the low. Like, girl.
Next one is, what qualities do you admire about yourself?
I love that I'm super positive. Like I really don't let a lot of negativity get in my energy. I'm really good at uplifting other people. Like that is just something that is just innately in me. Like I love seeing people happy. I love pushing people towards their goals and like helping them reach their goals. Like any way that I can help, I like helping people. And I really do love that about myself because I feel like the world needs more of that, right?
Definitely.
I feel like there's like a lot of like tearing down of people or like competition, or we feel like we're up against other people, like, oh, I gotta do better than her. No. I feel like the world would be so much better if everybody just like comes together and like works together and helps people, get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
So I really do admire that about myself.
Yeah, I agree. What's your superpower?
I bring light wherever I go. I will say that about me. I can walk into a room and I will bring light in any darkness. I will bring humor, positivity. I will bring light. Like that is me. I bring the light.
Nice. Do you have any pet peeves?
Okay, when people make that little like that little scratching noise with their with their throat.
Oh, yes, when they're trying to
That
like
is
scratch it. Yes.
yes. My boyfriend does that all the time. I'd be like, ooh, like it just literally. I'm like, stop,
It's like going like this down a chalkboard.
stop. I hate when. Yes, yes. It literally blows. And a lot of people do that. I'd be like, ooh, like I'd be in the store, somebody does that, I'd be like, yeah, that's my pet peeve.
Okay. The
That's my pet
last
peeve.
one, the last icebreaker question is, if you weren't a model right now, what would you want to be doing?
Girl, I'd probably be stripping. It's like I'm joking. If I wasn't a model, I would honestly see because I can't do corporate jobs. I really tried to do corporate jobs in the past. Corporate is just not. It's not my thing.
Uh-huh.
So I probably would take up a career in doing like some design or like making clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be in that career. I
Okay.
do. Because corporate is not it for me. Corporate is not it.
Yeah, I've tried the 9 to 5 life, and no offense to anybody who has a 9 to 5 and they love their 9 to 5, but for me, it gets
Right.
challenging, like working for people for too long. Like I'll get jobs here and there throughout my journey,
Yes.
even like now, like throughout my journey, I've had jobs like on and off, but it never lasts like more than like a month or so.
Yeah, it does not last for me. And like you said, like no offense to anyone who has a 9 to 5. That's amazing. Like a lot of my friends have 9 to 5s. What works for people doesn't work for other people. But for me, honey, I just cannot. I can't do it. I
Yeah.
cannot do it. Like I always just end up going back to working for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's never
So
like the job itself. Is normally like the management or something. Like the people I work with are normally
yeah,
cool,
the people.
but it'd be like the managers or the
Yeah.
bosses that be like driving me crazy.
Yes. Yes. Yes, girl. I'd be like, I got to go.
Yeah. Well,
Got to go.
thank you for sharing, a little bit about you that we didn't know. I did not know you were from Baltimore.
Yes. Really?
I did not know that.
Yes. A lot of people don't know that. I'm like, why do y'all think I'm from New York?
Because you don't give Baltimore, and that's not like
Really?
no shade to Baltimore, but
Wait, you from DC?
yeah, I'm from DC.
See, I already know, but you gotta get Baltimore.
Nothing.
What
I
you
love
gotta get?
Baltimore.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Baltimore, but just some of the people that I've encountered from Baltimore, they're the way they carry themselves is a little different from how you carry yourself. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I see that. I see that. I can agree. I can
yeah.
agree with that.
So you're originally from Baltimore. When did
Mhm.
modeling begin for you? How did your interest in modeling begin?
So it really began at a young age. I think I was in middle school when I first started. And at the time, it was like this huge wave of everyone wanted to be a model. It was like all these fashion shows were going on. And I mean, everybody in Baltimore was a model. I kid you not. If you weren't a model, then you were like a photographer or like a makeup artist. But everyone was kind of in this creative space. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think I could take pictures. Like, let me just try it out. I didn't really, I never knew that it could be a career. But at the time, it was just a hobby. Like, it was just something fun to do. Like, all my friends were going to the fashion shows. I'm like, all right, I want to go. Like, it was just something to do. And so what started out as a career, like, I ended up really loving it. Like, I loved to get in front of the camera. I loved doing the fashion shows. Like, I just loved everything about it. And I used to watch like America's Next Top Model a lot. I used to go through like the magazines and I studied it. Like, it just became this newfound passion for me. And I remember just trying to figure out like how I can keep going with it. And as soon as I turned 18, I was like, you know what? This is something that I really want to do. Like, although I never saw people that looked like me, like in the industry, like I was always thicker than all of my friends. My friends were like size 0, size 2, size 4, size 6. And I was always like the thicker model. And I never seen like a Black plus size model in the industry at the time. And at the time that I was doing modeling, plus size modeling wasn't even a huge thing, right? You never even thought like plus size modeling was going on. It was always like, you got to be a size 0, you got to do a New York Fashion Week. And it was always these things. And so it didn't really seem possible to me at the time. And I feel like with me getting started, there were so many like challenges that I faced with getting started, like photographers telling me that I was too fat to model, telling me that they was not going to shoot me. I had a photographer tell me that he had to charge me $1,000 because I was over a certain weight.
That's so ridiculous.
Yes. And he blatantly said it. He was like, because you are not a size 0 to 2, I have to charge you $1,000 in order to shoot you. And I was such in disbelief because it was like, do I actually have to change like who I am in order to model? And I got to a point where I was like, okay, let me try starving myself. Let me try losing the weight. Let me try doing this. Let me try doing that. And it just never worked out. It never worked. And I was like, well, what is going on? How do I get started into this industry? How do I kind of break the mold? And it was very challenging for me because even after like the photographers having that friction with photographers and trying to find photographers so that I could build my portfolio, I was also cyberbullied at the same time, shortly after that. And what ended up happening was when I couldn't really find the photographers to help me build my portfolio, I ended up getting my own camera and doing my own thing. Like, I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, can you please buy me this camera? I think it was like a little like Canon camera at the time. And I would put on my own production. I would go in my closet, pull this, pull that. I was thinking that it was high fashion. Like, I was like, you know what? I got to put this together. I would like cut out magazine pictures and try to mimic the style. And I would do my own hair, my own makeup. And I would set my camera on a timer and I would take my own photos. And I was like, listen, if no one wants to take photos of me, I'm going to do it for myself. And I've always kind of kept that in my mind. Like, if someone doesn't do it, I'm going to do it for myself. I got to do it for myself because at that time, other than like my mom was like my biggest cheerleader. But other than her, it was nobody else that was kind of in my corner, like pushing me. Right. So I had to be there to push myself. And my mom was there to push me at the time. So yeah, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, but now we're here.
I'm about to say, look at you now. And I love the fact that you mentioned that you weren't getting opportunities. So basically you did it on your own, because a lot of people just give up because they feel like something has to be, and not really realizing like you can do it yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I created Friends in Beauty to begin with, because I was in a coaching program and my coach was just trying to pull stuff out of me, trying to figure out like how I got to where I was at the time, because all of the opportunities that I had gotten have literally come from me networking. Not necessarily that I sought out the opportunity, but I just put myself in position to meet people where they just remembered me and the opportunities came to me, and like not waiting for stuff just to land in the lap, but just going and get it.
You gotta go get it. You have to go get it. Like nothing will ever be handed to you, you know? And I'm the type of person, I don't want the handout. I want to work for it. I want to push myself. I want to reach new heights. I want to see how far I can go. I don't want things to just be handed to me, because when things are handed to you, you have a different type of appreciation. You may not appreciate the things as much, right? But when you actually work for it and you put your blood, sweat, and tears, and you, like you say, you're networking, you're reaching out, you're going outside of your comfort zone, you're doing this, you're doing that, you have a different appreciation for it. You want to hold on to that. You want to cherish it. You want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't slip out of your hands. You want it to grow. You want it to prosper. So, yeah, I always just believed in that. Like, it's a lot of things in my journey that have like contributed to who I am now and contributed to my mindset now. Where it's like I said, if you don't do it for me, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen regardless. You know, like, you know, I'm gonna make it happen.
So when would you say your like quote unquote big break happened, where you started working consistently, working with photographers? Now everybody wants to shoot you. You got signed to an agency, like all of that. Like, when did that happen for you? When was your big break?
Okay. So after the cyberbullying happened, right? Well, basically what happened with that was a girl took one of my photos that I, you know, created. She took one of my photos and she put it on Facebook. This was when like Facebook had just, you know, started popping. It was like huge. And it had got over 1,000 likes and comments of people telling me that I would never make it, people calling me fat. It was all these jokes. I saw a lot of my friends in the comments. It was crazy. It was crazy. And at that moment, I ended up going into like a deep depression. I was still super young, super impressionable. And it was just so much heaviness on me, right? It was like photographers don't want to work with me. I felt like the world hates me. It was just all of these things that I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. I slipped into a deep depression for maybe like 3 months. During that time, I had gotten the closest with God that I had ever gotten. I would just pray each and every day. And I was like, God, if this is not for me, then why am I keep dreaming about it? Why do I, you know, what's going on? Like, let me know what's up. And, you know, I kept having dreams of me in storefronts. I kept having dreams of me working with these clients and this and that. And one day I just woke up and I was like, you know what? I will never allow someone else's opinion about me get me that low to where I'm questioning God's gift for me and God's path for me. I will never allow that to happen. I just woke up with a new mindset, like I gotta do it. And I will never let anyone tell me that I can't do it. And I'm just gonna keep continuing to do what I gotta do and following God versus following what everyone else said. And after that, I ended up meeting this designer who had worked in Vogue. He had did a couple different projects with some different people. And I had just like put myself out there. I was like, hey, like I love your work. Like, you know, I'm an inspiring model. I would love to work with you, collaborate on some photo shoots. And he was all down. He's like, let's do it. Like, you got the look. I see something in you. Let's do it. So for my 18th birthday, I ended up traveling to New York. I shot with the photographer Tasha Jordan. And after that, you know, I
follow her. Yeah, I follow her.
Yes. She was like the first like New York photographer that I shot with. And at the time, I didn't even know how huge she was until like, you know, I'm like, damn, I shot with Tasha Jordan. But yeah, I shot with her. And after that, like the photos were like going all around social media. And this is when Instagram started popping off, and Twitter. So people were like, who is this girl? Who is she? Like, da da da, like, da da. And mind you, plus size modeling was starting to level up now. So people were wondering who I was. And at the time, I had two goals. My first goal was to work with Plus Model Magazine. My second goal was to get signed. It was like, 1, 2. This is how it got to happen. And I had my mind focused on those two goals. And so one night, Plus Model Magazine was on Twitter, and it was super late. It was like 11 p.m. and I had seen them post something. I was like, what are they up? And the same stylist was like, Plus Model Magazine is on Twitter. Like, you have to get their attention. And I was like, I don't even have a Twitter. Like, what am I supposed to do? And he was like, make one. So I literally made a Twitter 11 p.m. at night, uploaded all my pictures. I'm DMing them. I'm messaging them. I'm literally like spamming them. Like, they probably thought I was a freaking fake page. Like, who is this girl? She don't got no followers. Like, who is this? But they ended up contacted me the day after. It was like a day or two after, and they contacted me and they was like, we want to feature you in our next issue, in our next magazine issue. And I was like, so I ended up shooting with Plus Model Magazine, just like I dreamed. And by the end of the shoot, mind you, with that shoot, I practiced to the T. Like, I was in the mirror practicing poses every single day, day and night, practicing everything. And the day of, I was like, God, I'm gonna put my all into this. Like, you lead me and I'm gonna follow. And by the end of that shoot, Maddie, who's the editor, she came up to me and she was like, I'm gonna get you signed. And I was like, girl, bye. Like, I've been trying to get signed all these years, girl, bye. But sure enough, 2 weeks later, maybe a week later, she came back and she was like, Dorothy Combs Models wants to sign you.
Wow.
And now it was like,
talk about that 1-2. Okay.
That 1-2, okay. But yeah, ever since then, I've just been like working super hard, putting myself out there. It's really about putting yourself out there. Like, you have to put yourself out there. And I tell my students that all the time, like, you got to put yourself out there. You got to make yourself known in this industry. You got to let people know that you got to let people know what you do.
Yeah.
And that you are trying to reach new heights. But if you just stay in the shadows and you play it safe and, oh, I'm a post here and there, people don't really know that I'm trying to be a model, it's not going to work. You got to put yourself out there. You got to meet new people. Like you said, networking is so important. You got to put yourself out there, meet new people, put your talents out there, let people know who you are.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Your story is just so amazing. I'm enjoying this already. It's so amazing. Oh my gosh. So since you've been signed, do you have any like favorite jobs that you've done so far? Or maybe like one or two?
I love all of my clients. Like, my clients are amazing, but one really cool, I'm trying to think. One really cool job that I did. I love all my campaign jobs. My campaigns are like the best. Like, I've done a lot of campaigns for Ashley Stewart, Target. So my campaigns are always fun. Those are the shoots where I get to like really explore with my posing. I get to be a little bit more fun with things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love my campaign jobs, but I will say that some cool jobs that I did was with LaLa Anthony, when she was launching her denim line. Yeah, girl, I was a nervous wreck on that shoot, because you just don't know how like celebrities are gonna be, right? Like, when you're shooting or when you're like around them. Yeah. And like, I'm hired for the job, so it's like, okay, I gotta keep a composure, but you don't know if they're gonna be mean. You don't know if they're gonna be nice. So all of those nerves were kind of kicking in, but she was so sweet. She was so sweet, and that was a really cool experience. I also shot with Kylie and Kendall for their line with Ashley Stewart, which was really cool. Yeah, they were really nice too. So it was a lot. It was a lot with working with like celebrities, but it was really cool. It was really cool to like work side by side with them, to like see them in person. Yeah. Because you always see them on Instagram or like on TV, and you don't really how they are.
Yeah.
But like, actually seeing them in person and meeting them and talking to them, like, they're actually a lot different than what people make them out to be. So yeah,
that's really cool. I remember walking through the mall and saw your big poster outside of Ashley Stewart. I was like, I gotta send this to her. Like, this is so I was like, I know her. That's wow. Yeah. That was a cool experience for me to see you up there.
Yes, girl.
That's cool.
Yes.
So what's it like on set though?
Like, on it never.
Sorry, girl.
On
Go
set.
ahead.
Oh, no. You're fine. On set, it's, 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 it's a different experience every time. Like, so basically you'll come on set, you come with no makeup, you come pretty bare, you know, they do your hair, they do your makeup, and it's a very fast paced type of job. A lot of my clients are pretty fast paced, but I'm a fast paced working model. Like, I like to get the shot, I like to keep it going, you know. And a lot of, well, that's kind of different for like most models. Like, they kind of chill, laid back. Like, I like to keep it moving. Like, let's get this shot, let's go, let's have fun. But it's all about like the energy on set, you know. Like, when it comes to being a model, a lot of what I do and a lot of what models do is about confidence. Like, you gotta have the confidence on set, right? Like, think about if you're taking a regular picture. Like, if you're not feeling it, it's gonna show, right? Right. Like, if somebody take a picture, you're like, I'm not feeling my outfit. I'm not feeling it. But for models, even if our outfit is not something that we would typically wear, or we're not feeling it, say like we came on our cycle where we're a little cramped, anything, we have to push through that. We have to still show up and have the confidence as if nothing is going on in our lives, right? So that's something that's like, you know, different about modeling. Like, on set, you gotta be present. You gotta have the confidence. You gotta stay lively. Like, because if not, people gonna look at you like, what's wrong with the model today? Like,
Right.
you know, like,
you're there
like,
to sell their, you know, their brand, their product. So you got to deliver.
Exactly. You have to deliver. But yeah, it's all about energy. Like, when I'm on set, I love having fun. Like, I like making people laugh. Like, I like bringing, like I said, light to the space. Like, let's turn on some Cardi B. Let's turn on, you know, like, let's have fun. Let's just unwind and just, you know, have a good time. So
yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned, because it sparked something in my head, that you mentioned like it might be an outfit that you might not normally wear, or, you know, let's talk about set etiquette for models, because I've never had this challenge before, but I've heard models tell me before, like, yeah, I was on set and I ain't like the way the makeup artist did my makeup, so I went in the bathroom and I, you know, did a little something, or because it is times when, you know, makeup is like totally off, or it might not be your liking. So what are some things, some set etiquette things that models should know that is like crossing the line, or if they don't like their makeup, or they don't feel like something is flattering to their body at the time, like how do you approach that situation in a way where it's not going to offend like the client?
This is a good question. So when it comes to makeup, it's I feel like there are a lot of things like in the modeling industry that need to change. Like, for example, I feel like there needs to be more professional makeup artists that know how to do black skin, in addition to doing like other races of skin as well. But when things like that happen, and say for instance, like, I was on set once and I had a makeup artist who had no idea how to do black skin. And she said it. Like, she was like, "You're my first black girl that I've ever done." And I was like,
which is
huh?
strange. Like, how did she even
It's
get
so
there?
that's what I'm saying. Like, there are a lot of people in these positions that just don't know how to do everyone's skin color. And when that happened, like, it was kind of like an awkward moment for me, because I'm like, well, you know, like, what we about to do here? And even though, like, when she would try to do my makeup, like, I just politely told her, like, hey, that's not really like my skin, you know, like my skin tone, like, I'm a little deeper, like maybe something like that, you know, like just making suggestions. And I tried my best not to offend her. And I think the way that, you know, you don't offend someone is just by being polite. Like, being polite and having respect, like, hey, I really like what you did there, but I don't really think that this is my shade, or I don't really think that, you know, could you maybe add something here? And a lot of the times, like, when you're on set, like a makeup artist will tell you, like, if you don't like anything, just tell me, right? And you establish that openness from the jump. But there have been times before I've been signed where I had completely had to go in the bathroom and do it all over, just because it was just like, this is not who I am. But since I've been signed, like, I've been able to stand up for myself and speak up for myself, but in the polite way. Like, I don't ever want to come off like, girl, this looks crazy. Like, this ain't even me. You know what I mean? But like, hey, like, I usually have my eyebrows this way. Like, could you maybe add something here? Like, I just, yeah. But like I said, establishing that politeness and establishing that open communication from the beginning and being comfortable to stand up for yourself. Because a lot of times, like, models will just be mute, right? We'll just be mute and we'll let things fly over us, or we won't really look our best self. So I think, like, really being polite and just saying, like, hey, this is a little loose right here. Did you want it this way? Or like, like that. I like to ask questions like that sometimes. Like, did you want to pin this, or is this okay? Like, is this fine? Like,
I like that.
Like, is this okay? Or did you want to pin it a little bit? Or, oh, it's good? Okay. Like, cool. But like being polite, making light out of it, not being like rude or nasty, like, or trying to, say that somebody's work is horrible, but maybe suggesting things and like, hey, I usually wear it, like I said, I usually wear it this way. Could we maybe do it this way, or is this okay? So,
and mind you, I mean, not to be mean, but most of the time when I hear stuff like that from models, it's not models who are like at a certain level where they should be.
Yeah.
But it is like a sensitive thing, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's still your likeness and your image,
right?
And you want to look a certain way. So
but sometimes models are really just like, overboard. Like, it don't be nothing wrong, and they be like, are you gonna add some eyeliner? Or like, it's like, okay, like,
you know what I do? Like, sometimes even as a makeup artist, and I have clients that do that sometimes too, and they're like, oh my God, can you do this? I'll take a brush with nothing on it and be like, do. Is that better? Ooh, I love it. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. I've done that before. Like, oh, can you feel like this? I'm like, that better. I love, some people just feel the need to, like, they running stuff.
Exactly. They wanna just say something sometimes, but it don't be nothing wrong.
Right.
It don't be nothing wrong.
That was excellent advice. I love that. Well, I want to talk more about to be a model. Tell me more about that. Like, how did you start that, and what does that entail?
Okay, so I started to be a model in 2017, and it was just about 2 years after I got signed, and I really wanted. Well, when I got into the industry, I had noticed that so many girls were hitting me up about how to get started in modeling. Oh my gosh, how do you get where you are? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I really wanted to create a space and an educational platform where I can teach aspiring models the things that weren't taught to me. And that was really my inspiration behind it all, because when I was coming up, I didn't have anyone telling me, like, you need to create a portfolio that has these looks. Like, that's what's going to capture the agency's attention, or you got to take digitals. Or I knew nothing. I knew nothing going into it. And I kind of figured out things as I went along. But if I had known a lot of the things that I teach, everything that I teach prior to or along my journey to getting signed, then I would have, saved a lot of time and a lot of energy. So to be a model is really that space for models to learn how to get started into the industry. I do a lot of in-person classes. Well, before COVID, I did in-person classes. And now, due to COVID, and even before, because I really launched my online platform before COVID happened, and I was like, yes,
perfect,
yes, right. But now I have an online educational platform where they have their own portal. They can go on and watch videos, pre-recorded videos that I've recorded, where I talk about how to get started, how to create a portfolio, your model bag, etiquette, casting calls, everything within the industry that you need to know. I teach it. And I provide advice and even one-on-one sessions, like virtual one-on-one sessions to my students, where we talk about their own journey, and I'm telling them personalized things that can help them get started in the industry and really just help them jumpstart their career. So it's been amazing. There's a lot of growth that is about to happen in the to be a model industry. But I'm super excited. I'm so happy. Like, I recently just got 3 of my students signed to Dorothy Combs Models. So I know that was like a full circle moment. When that happened, I was just like, the work that I'm doing is paying off. Like, it's working. And that's really what I aspire. I want the work to work. Like, I want people to get signed. I want models have gone off and done huge campaigns, like after, attending my classes. So many models have gotten signed. They're working with their dream clients. And it's just like, that is what really like fuels me. Like, I love modeling, but helping models really achieve their dreams, that's where my heart is. Like, that's where my heart is. That's where my heart is. And that's where like I flourish the most. So yeah.
I love that. That's so awesome. 3 of your models got
Thank
signed.
you.
What is that process? What is the process to getting signed for people who don't know? Because I don't know for sure.
So basically, what an agency is going to be looking for is digitals, which is basically they want to see how you look without the glitz and the glam, the makeup. So they want to see you in a white shirt, high-waisted jeans, black or nude shoes, little to no makeup, hair pulled back. Like, they want that raw image of how you look. And digitals are super simple when I explain it, but they're a little difficult to take. Like, you got to take them in the best light, in the best way. Like, a lot of the times when I explain like to my models, like, you got to take digitals, they'll come back after taking them and like, girl, that was so difficult. Like, I don't know how you do it, or, so it's something that agencies are really looking for. Like, when you submit to any agency, they're going to ask you for your digitals. So that is super important. And then also your portfolio. Building that portfolio is going to be super important, not only to get clients, but also to an agency as well, because they want to see how you shoot. Mm-hmm. They want to see you in a dress and see how you move in a dress, how you pose in a Gap type of feel outfit with like denim on denim. Like, they want to see these different looks and different vibes that you can pull off. So they're going to be looking for those 2 main things. And there are many different ways to get signed. Like, for me, it was networking, right? I got signed from doing a shoot, and the editor was plugged in with these agencies and she referred me, right? Mm-hmm. So there are many different ways for you to get signed, but I feel like the most traditional way that a lot of people know is submitting online. But for my students, what I'm moving more towards is developing my students and then pitching them to these agencies. So now I have been afforded the opportunity to have this connection with different agencies. And so the students that are now coming to my program, I'll be able to pitch them myself. And that's what happened with the 3 girls. I was able to pitch them myself to my agency. And now I have connections with other agencies. So I'll be able to really help these girls get signed and get in front of these agents themselves. So that was a little spoiler alert, because that's coming soon, but I'll put it out there.
I love it. You are doing so well, and I know that it's big things in the future for you, because I'm like, she gonna have a modeling agency one day. Is it gonna turn into like? It's so much that you could do, and so much that you're doing already, and already impacting so many lives. Like, that's so amazing.
Thank you. Like, as soon as I pulled myself out of it, because at first it was like, yes, I really want to be this model and da da da. But as soon as I pulled myself out of it and I started thinking of how I can help others, that's when I really started to get like a fire in me that was like, that's where it is. Like, of course, I had to be a model myself to, show my process and show me doing it. And that's really what I love to do, right? I love modeling, but it was that journey and me being a model that got me to a point where now I can help other models and help them get on board and them get signed and, really give back. So that's where my heart is. I love modeling, but now my heart is where, helping other models. So
yeah. And I love that, because what a lot of people have to realize too is like, what if you had stayed in that depression, or what if you had quit, or what if you had let that cyberbullying situation just let you just take you out of the path that you're supposed to be on. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of people out here waiting for you to show up so that they can win. There's a lot of people who need you. they need you in particular. Like so many people, it's other people who are models who probably have courses and everything, but it's something unique about you in particular that's going to draw people, you know, for them to reach the goals that they need to reach in their life. So for those people out there who are stuck and feeling down and out on themselves, just realize that even if it's a few people, it's somebody out there that needs you right now. So you got to get up and like get going for real.
Yes. Also with that, I love that. I think that it's important with anyone, right? Any industry that they're in, like you have to think about where you will be. You can't think about where you are now. Because if you think about where you are now, sometimes it's a bit debilitating, right? We look around and we're like, oh, well, I should be here and I'm still in this point where I still don't have this, I still don't have that. We have to look at what we do have and where we're going. We always have to keep our mind on where it is that we will be. And we have to keep dreaming that and keep seeing that and keep seeing ourselves in that position in order to drive us to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people, like even now with like a lot of my students, they're getting like, you know, not depressed, but they're getting discouraged when things don't happen for them in a timely fashion. Like, oh, wow, I reached out to this person and they didn't respond. Or like I reached out to this agency and they told me no. And it's like, we'll reach out to some more, you know, we'll get back up. Well, now we got to work on your portfolio some more. Now we got to, you know, there's always room for change and there's room for growth. And if something doesn't happen when you want it, it's okay. Like, it's okay. When one door shuts, God is redirecting you to a bigger door. So if that wasn't for you right now, that's not to say that it won't be for you in the future. Once you develop your portfolio more, develop your image more, or whatever the case is, like you have to learn how to get back up off of that what you view as rejection is really redirection. So
absolutely, because there's always something in the works, always.
Yes, always.
Yeah. So for those people who are out there who have been thinking about modeling, like aspiring models, what are some things that they should focus on? Maybe like the top 3 things starting out that they should focus on when they're first starting.
When you're first starting, I would say start on your portfolio. So start reaching out to some photographers, start getting your portfolio going, look up some inspiration on Instagram, on these models' portfolios. Go to these models that are like big time, go to their Instagram, see what types of posts they're posting, see what types of images they're posting on that portfolio, work on the portfolio. Also, social media. Social media is huge now, especially in the modeling industry. Like a lot of clients are looking at a model's Instagram before they even, you know, checking anything else. Like they're looking to see their social media presence and what they're posting on social media. So develop social media brand as well. Like start posting more about modeling images, behind the scenes. Start posting things that are true to you. Because people want to know who you are. So I always tell people to choose 5 things to post about. Like for me, it's behind the scenes, it's modeling images, and maybe videos, maybe outfit posts. It could be makeup tutorials, whatever is true to you. Post those things like consistently. So portfolio, social media, and then the digitals and networking. I would kind of put those 2 side by side because they're equally important. But networking, get yourself out there, connect with people. Let people know that you're in the business, you're in the game. Like keep you in mind when they come across any opportunities. Like a lot of my opportunities for like casting have come from people on Instagram. Like people will literally send me over castings like, hey, this brand is casting for a plus size model, just wanted to send it over. And I would be like, you know, you gotta let people know that you're in this business, you're in the business, you're a model, please keep me in mind, send me this, send me that. And people will remember. Remember, like even with what you said, like you network and you meet different people and they keep you in mind when those opportunities come. So you gotta get out there and network.
Yeah, I agree. What are some I guess caution signs or red flags that I guess because you're a woman, female models should look out for when, you know, working with photographers? Or I know a lot of people get those spammy emails sometimes about, oh, I'm going to fly you out. Everything is paid for.
Yes.
You know, what are some things that people should look out for?
When dealing with photographers, this is super important. Like you should not be sending any photographers images of you without clothes, lingerie. When I was coming up in modeling, I had a photographer who I reached out to do work, and he responded back and was like, before I send you over my availability, I need to see what your body looks like. Please send me images of you in a bathing suit. He was asking for all these images, and it was like, you don't need to do that, right? You don't need to do that as a model. Yeah, like, what do you need that for? Send me your availability. But I want models to know, like, you should not be doing any of that. Like, I've had a few models let me know, like, that has been happening a lot as well. Like, if a photographer is asking you for images of yourself, do not send them. Mm-hmm. Also, like you said, like with those spammy emails, if an email is always check where the email is coming from. Like, I always check what the email address is, and I will go match it to the actual company. If it does not match, then it's not it. If a brand is literally saying, okay, I need your name, address, phone number, social security number, this, and we're going to pay you $50,000. Why do you need all of that information? You know what I mean? In order to pay. So you have to think about these things and question things when you get things. So always match up who the address is, go to their page, go to the website. Is this the same email address? If it's not, then it's most likely a spam. Mm-hmm. Also with agencies, this is super important. If an agency is asking for money up front, then it is not the agency that you want to be with. Like, an agency should not be asking for a fee or money up front in order to promise you anything. Agencies work for the model. We always think that, like, oh, I'm signed to say I'm working for the agency. No, it's actually the other way around. Like, agencies work for the model. They get paid when the model get paid. Mm-hmm. The agency is supposed to find the model jobs, and that is how they make their percentage. So you shouldn't be paying out of pocket up front the agency anything. Right. And I always get questions about that too. Like, they're like, yeah, I applied to this agency and now they're asking for $2,000 and they're going to cover the, no. So definitely look out for those things. If you all are interested, if there's some models out there that are interested in modeling, but you guys have been receiving spam messages, brush past those. Do not respond to those. Do not pay anything up front. And work with genuine professional people. Like, there are a lot of people that have a lot of, underground motives or whatever the case is. You want to surround yourself with professional, motivated, driven people.
Yeah. I agree. Because I've heard some horror stories before about, photographers trying to take advantage of models once they're on set, like trying to get them to do things that they're not comfortable with, and be, informed and safe.
And if you're under 18, you should always bring a parent, a guardian. I don't care if it's your older brother. Mm-hmm. If you have older sister, you should always be accompanied by someone if you're under 18. So
definitely.
Yeah.
How has the pandemic affected your modeling jobs or just you doing anything, period?
Yeah. I feel like when the pandemic first occurred, I feel like everyone was just in fucking shit. Like, it was just like, it was so chaotic.
Yeah.
And all of my clients shut down immediately. A lot of my clients are in New York, and New York was super bad at one point. So all of my clients shut down. What the industry moved into is working from home. So they would send the items, and we would have to shoot it ourselves. So we would have to put up a white background. We would set up a little camera. I have a friend who's a photographer, so that's kind of how it shifted. Okay. Which I really like. I could work from home. Right, I could work from home. All I had to do was get the items. I could shoot it, send it back. It was cool. But I really did miss traveling because I was always on the go. And I feel like this pandemic really just sat me down, like, girl, it's time for some self-care, some self-love. Like, you need to reel it back in a little bit. But it was good. It ended up being great for me. But as far as modeling, everything shifted to a different dimension, like working from home, doing more social media posts. I feel like social media for me and like getting more social media collaborations really started to increase for me. But even now, like a lot of my clients have not opened back up yet. Some have, and I feel like as far as I will go is like Philly or maybe even like the peak of New Jersey, but I'm still so cautious about like, you know, just working in New York or like working in these hotspot areas. So I've kind of just stayed away from that, and just working from home is best for me, or a Philly job here or like a New Jersey job, but that's as far as I can go right now.
I feel
so yeah.
Yeah, as a model, I know it's really important to maintain your image and everything. What are some things that you do to keep yourself together and looking fabulous all the time? Every time I see you, I'm like, Dad, this girl don't take a bad picture, do she? Dad.
Really? Girl, I mean, listen, 99% of the time, if you was to see me out, you would see me in some sweatpants, hair tied up, no makeup on, some sunglasses. Like, I really dress so chilled on the regular basis. But I do love to get dressed up. That's the thing. I love playing dress up. So I love taking care of myself. I like to get my hair done a lot. I get my nails done on the regular. That's kind of something that, you know, just happens as a model. Like, you got to keep your nails up to date. So I get my nails done and my hair done on a regular basis. But as far as like just taking care of myself and like rejuvenating myself, I like getting facials. I like getting massages. Massages is my number one thing to do. Like, it really just like helps relax me, and it's so needed. Like, we're on our feet all day. We're posing all day. We're always like, you know, just on our toes. So getting massages for me just really helps me to relax and you know, takes the pain away. But as far as like self-love and self-care and just like keeping myself up, like I like grooming myself a lot. Like, I love just keeping myself fresh and renewed. I like doing yoga and meditating. I'm starting to work out more. So just taking care of myself from the inside and out. I remember like when the pandemic first started, I first started working out. It was like the first time I had worked out in so long. And I was so out of shape. And like, I was working out so much that like I literally almost like gagged, like threw up. And I was like, I'm so beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, I'm messed up. Like, I'm not as healthy as I should be. I'm eating horribly. And it was like, I don't like that feeling. You know, I don't like that feeling. So from that point, I really just made, you know, I made it in my intention to take care of myself from the inside and from the outside. So
I love that. I love meditation. I love yoga. I definitely started working out during the pandemic too, because I was like, I'm not coming out fluffy. Okay. Like, that's not about to happen. Because I don't like working out. Like, the traditional working out, I don't like it. But now I've learned to like it, because I would never work out to the point where I saw results. So I told myself this time, okay, I'm gonna work out till I see results. And now that I'm seeing results, I'm like, okay, I gotta keep it.
Then you get addicted. You get addicted. You feel like, oh, it's starting to, I gotta keep it going.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Now, one thing that I really notice about your Instagram, anytime you come across my feed on scrolling or I go to your page, is that you ooze this confidence. Like, you ooze confidence. Like, where does your confidence come from? And what advice can you give to people who like may be struggling with their confidence and their self-esteem right now, especially wanting to be a model or just women in general?
My confidence comes from knowing that I am the only Halle Deneen, and I have to be the best Halle Deneen that there is. And that goes for every single person. Like, you are the only you. And that is your superpower. I saw something on Instagram that day, like, you are the only you, and that is your superpower. There's no one like you. And I think we really have to take that in. Like, there is no one like me. There's no one like you. There's no one like such and such, and so on and so forth. And I'm making my duty to be the best Halle Deneen that I can be. Since there's only one me, I have to be the best me that there is. And I feel like as soon as we stop comparing ourselves to other people and really just channel our inner self and that inner confidence. And some people be like, you need to channel your inner Beyonce. No, I need to channel my inner Halle Deneen, because that's who I am.
Yes.
And so just channeling your inner self and really just knowing who you are and knowing that there's no one like you, like that is where my confidence comes from. So anytime like that I'm taking pictures, I turn it on. And I feel like that is a piece of advice that I can give to like models. Like you have to turn that inner you on. You have to block out the I can't do it or I'm scared. You have to block all of that negative energy out. And I told this to my student the other day. I was like, before you take pictures or before you go into that casting, before you are doing anything, even if you have to go into the bathroom and have a 5-minute self-talk, or that moment where you're like, all right, I got this. I'm about to do this. I'm about to take these pictures. I'm about to be the best. You got to tell yourself things. You have to talk to yourself nicely. You got to tell yourself that you're the best. You got to, and you know, sometimes it sounds cocky to some people, but you are the best. You are the best. God made you the best. And we have to really start channeling that. Like, I am the best Halle Deneen. Right. And that's not cocky. That's loving myself. And that's knowing that I have what it takes. That's knowing that I'm worthy. That's knowing that I am great in all that I do. Right. So that self-talk, that channeling. And as soon as you see yourself in pictures, that's fuel right there. That's fuel right there. I'll be like, let me see that real quick. That's me. Oh, man. I'm about to, right? Like, that is literally me. I'll be like, let me see that. Bet.
Like that. Okay, I see you.
Right. Like, I see you, girl. You gotta hype yourself up. You gotta be your own hype man. Like, I am my own hype man. I'll be like, yes, Halle, there we go. Right. So yeah, be your own hype man. Hype yourself up. If you're a model, really focus on things that you love about yourself. When I was, after the cyberbullying happened, I did a lot of like journaling. And I did a lot of affirmations and I did a lot of mantras. And I would write down things that I love about myself every day. And I would get in the mirror and I would tell myself things that I love about myself every day. And that is what kind of helped me to really love and accept myself. So if you're a model out there and you're having a hard time with like confidence and loving yourself, write down things that you love about yourself. Tell yourself nice things every single day that you wake up. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. Tell yourself that you are wonderfully made. Tell yourself these nice things, because even if you don't believe it in that moment, you constantly telling yourself that, you will start to embody it and you will start to walk in that and you'll start to believe it for yourself eventually. So
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I did an episode about that, I think, or I mentioned it in the episode.
Really?
I think it was my Be Do Have episode where I had a coach who, one of the assignments that he gave us when we first started working with him was to write down, I guess, our future self in a way, like write down who you are like in the future. So I wrote down, like, one of the things I wrote down was like, my name is Aquia Robinson and I'm the host of a world-renowned podcast, Friends in Beauty. And this was before I even started the podcast. Before I even started the podcast, and just writing down things like, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. Even the things like you said you don't really believe about yourself right now. And when you start to read those things back, you'll notice that, hey, I am this person. I even wrote down, I work out 5 days a week. I wasn't even working out at that time. But now that I think about it and I look back at that document, I'm like, you read it every day and you'll start to notice that you're starting to embody those things and you are becoming that person that your higher self, your inner self, all of that. I love it.
Yes, that is so true. I do a lot of that too, like writing down my future self. And like you said, you'll look back at that and you'll be like, dang, I really did open up my own program. Like, wow. All of those things will come to fruition. Like, write down the vision, write down the goal, write down the future you, and it will happen. Yes. Period.
Yeah. Now, because I am a makeup artist, I have to ask, like, about this face, like makeup. Like, what do you have?
Did I do good today?
Girl, yes, you are glowing. What foundation? What's your routine? What foundation and stuff do you use?
So I use, and you know what, I need you to give me some products, okay? Because I'm trying to do better with my makeup, just like a simple basic face. I can't do, all that you do. You be
that's my face right there. When I do makeup, it's something very, very simple.
Yeah, like just simple
and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I have Beauty Bakery as foundation. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. I have Tarte for concealer. What did I use for? I can't remember what I used for contour. I really need a new contour thing. Please recommend me something for contour. But and something for foundation as well, like a powder foundation.
Okay.
Because the one that I use now, I think it's from Iman, but I just grabbed that on the fly one day, and I've just never upgraded from that since. But yeah, I use Beauty Bakery, Anastasia for my brows, and for mascara, girl, I got this sample. I don't even know what it is. I'm trying to look over there like, but I can't even remember like the mascara. But yeah, this is just a simple beat.
Gorgeous. And another thing,
thank you.
I want to know, what kind of do you have something where you have like, what if I try to ask? I want to know if you can get some tips on posing for like Instagram and the stuff. Like, do you have like a lookbook or something that you offer where you just show people like quick little poses that you could do for Instagram?
So actually, I have a whole 5-part series posing masterclass coming soon. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I'm working on that now. So it'll be like posing for Instagram, posing for photo shoots, posing for this, posing. It's going to be a whole 5-part series with tips, tricks, all of that to get the best angles.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through all of that. Yeah, it's coming. It's going to be a really big masterclass, but I want it to be super informative. I want to show the little secrets that I use, all of that. So that's coming.
Because my selfie game is strong, but when it comes to the full body pictures, I'll be like, what do I do?
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. Like, my full body game is strong. My selfies, I be like, ooh, like, yeah. So maybe you could teach me some things about selfies.
Find that angle, find your light, and
yes.
So what else is next for you and your brand?
Okay, so I have a couple master classes coming. And I really want to transition. I don't know. As far as to be a model, I definitely want to take on more models and help them get signed. But I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe an agency coming up soon. I'm thinking about, maybe like a 2-part educational and model development program. There's so many things that like I'm trying to hash out. But the goal is really to grow and to think about taking it to like the next level as far as like helping models. Like, I eventually want to tour around the world, do some model calls, of course, when COVID clears up. But like model calls, help these girls get signed, and really take it as far as I can. Like, there's so many ideas in my mind, but I gotta go with the one where God is leading me. So I feel like I had this, and this. So I really gotta pinpoint which one is gonna lead to where God is trying to take me. But yeah, the goal is to grow. The goal is to grow.
I love it. And I could definitely see when you were talking earlier, I was like, this is a modeling agency. She's going to have a modeling agency. I'm putting it out there for her. She don't know
it. We putting it out there in the universe. So.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Before you go, I have to ask you some Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions. I do this with everybody. So whatever comes to mind first, just, spit it out.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Let me get my
easy stuff. You got this. This, girl. All right. First one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
Confidence, God, and my support system.
Nice. How do you measure your success?
I measure my success by how many lives I impact. Me doing God's work. And does it have to be 3 each time, or I just keep doing 3?
Whatever.
Okay, I measure my success by how many lives I impact, my growth, and how successful I am with following God's voice.
Yes. What's the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice that I ever received was to know my worth, honestly. Like, once you know your worth, everything is in alignment. You know what you will settle for, what you won't settle for. You know where you're going, how much you should get paid, how much, you know that you're in the right space at the right time doing what you're supposed to do.
Right. What advice would you give to someone who's just ready to give up right now?
You got to see the bigger picture. You got to see the bigger picture. You can't give up. There's someone that is depending on you. There's someone that's looking up to you. And you will achieve everything that you set your mind to. You just have to believe in yourself. So don't give up on yourself. You are your biggest ally. You are your biggest motivation. You have to do it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What's a resource that has helped you in your business that you can share with the Friends in Beauty community?
Wow. I do a lot of research, but some things that have really helped me are Canva has helped me a lot.
Canva is bae.
I might have to stick with Canva is bae with graphics, with doing social media posts. Like, look up on Canva, y'all. Look up on Canva. Like, Canva is bae.
Yep. Awesome. So the last one, I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to say my name. He's like, what? My name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank, whatever you think it is.
Okay. My name is Halle Deneen, and the key to longevity and success is knowing yourself, knowing God, and staying true to your passion and your worth. Yeah.
Before you go, share all of your social media information, like where you want to be found, and let people know, like, if they want to be a part of the next iteration of To Be a Model, like how they can do that as well. And I'll put it below in the show notes.
Okay. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm not really on Twitter like that, but I do have a Twitter. At Halle Deneen. That's at HALLEDENEEN. Again, that's HALLEDENEEN. And if you guys want to sign up for my next To Be a Model, you can visit my website at www.halledeneen.com. Right now, there's a waiting list, but if you sign up, I promise you'll be the first to know when the next To Be a Model online program is launching. So make sure you guys sign up, check me out, hit me up on DMs if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be right there to answer. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much for having me.
This was amazing. I really appreciate it. You have set the tone for the other models that will be coming on, so they better,
they better bring it. They better bring it.
But this was amazing, and I know that this is an episode that is going to be really impactful for a lot of people, for sure.
Thank you so much. And this is I wanted to tell you this earlier, but I'm so proud of you for doing this. Like, this is such an amazing platform that you're doing. Like, when you reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, like I love everything about this platform, and I really see a lot of growth with it. I see you going so far with it. So continue to do what you do, continue to impact other people's lives, continue to be that beauty and that light and that ball of energy that you are. So I'm proud of you. I really am.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty. And subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.